can't do it politically. You just literally cannot do it. Okay, transparent financing, unless I have transparent financing, also transparent spending. I mean, this bill was written in a tortured way to make sure CBO did not score the mandate as taxes. If CBO scored the mandate as taxes, the bill dies. Okay, so it's written to do that. In terms of risk-rated subsidies, if you had a law which said healthy people are going to pay in, it made explicit that healthy people pay in and sick people get money, it would not have passed. Okay, just like lack of transparency is a huge political advantage. And basically, call it the stupidity of the American voter or whatever. But basically, that was really, really critical to getting the thing to pass. And, it's the second best argument. Look, I wish Mark was right. We can make it all transparent. But I'd rather have this law than not. So it's kind of like his reporter story. There's things I wish I could change, but I'd rather have this law than not.
25 now till the top of the hour. That, of course, Jonathan Gruber's comments about how stupid you, the American people, are. And the Louie theme means only one thing, and that is that Louie Gohmert, the congressman from Texas, is on our Newsmaker line. How are you, sir?
As far as I know, fine. And I think you had the original Kingsman Louie going there, too.
Yes, sir. We absolutely positively did. For you, it's nothing but the best, Louie. But hey, so let me ask you, where's the Republican outrage over Jonathan Gruber? He's the architect of Obamacare. He says not once, we now have a series of cuts we played earlier, we'll play them later in the program, about how stupid the American people are and how the legislation never would have passed if they were transparent and open and honest about what this bill really was and how they manipulated the CBO in the scoring of this bill. What can be done about this?
Well, hopefully that will help infuriate enough Americans that we will get Obamacare repealed. We can't just, take out this part or that part. We've got to repeal it. It was based on lies, but it was a government takeover. And as I said for years now, it wasn't about health care. It was about the GRE, the government running everything. And I did read the bill before I voted against it. I saw that there was, whether you want to call it a death panel, as Sarah Palin has, there is a panel in there that will decide when you're too old to get hip surgery or pacemaker or whatever. There's the federal government taking over vending machines. You name it. I mean, the president gets his own commissioned, non-commissioned officer corps out of Obamacare. It was chock full of 2,500 pages of what the far left has always wanted in the way of taking over government control. The federal government getting all your medical records, you name it. It was a disaster. We don't need to leave this, that, or the other. You repeal it. And Sean, back when, I know most people wouldn't remember, I know you would, but we were offering to agree to a bill that would protect people from being screwed over by insurance companies for pre-existing conditions. And heck, I think a majority of us would agree. The Democrats said 26 years of age, but I think most of us agree, hey, if you're living with your parents, and they want you on your insurance, sure, you can be on their insurance if you're living at home.
So I hear that
we were agreeing to those things.
I hear that Ryan and Rubio are working on a plan. You got some other people's working on an alternative plan. Look, I think the political reality is clear that we can have a repeal bill pass the House, pass the Senate. Mm-hmm. The president's going to veto it. The question is there any Democratic votes to override the veto? And, we'll just have to wait and see. I think we're going to end up now, we have 53 seats in the Senate. We'll get Louisiana. That's going to be 54. So there's an opportunity. I wonder if they really want this done.
Well, and as I'm hearing more people starting to talk about, they call it the so-called Cadillac tax. It's not a Cadillac tax. It's a tax of 40% on everything that a health insurance policy costs over $10,200 for an individual, and that's not really a Cadillac insurance policy. But in Obamacare, that was time to not go in until after the next presidential election. But when people start seeing my deductible went from $500 to $5,000, and now it costs more than it ever did. And now the Supreme Court should end up ruling that the law what it says, and we have Bruner actually saying that we intended for it to say what and you don't get subsidies if it's a state-run exchange. And so you start taking away the giveaways that are trying to buy people's affection for Obamacare. That not in the bill that they're supposed to get them.
We were told a lot of lies here, Louie. Lied about the cost and the savings we'd get, lied about keeping our plan, lied about keeping our doctors, lied about Benghazi, lied about the NSA, lied about Fast and Furious. We're lied to during elections about Republicans and women and racist views that Republicans have, et cetera. We're lied about all the time. It's just nonstop lies.
But you saw through the lies from the beginning. A lot of, at least a bunch of us we knew there were lies. We read the bill. We saw what was wrong with it. But I tell you who really needs to be upset with what was said is the American public. They were called stupid. And, he fooled them once, but now if they don't get upset and say, you called us stupid, you lied to us, you didn't think we'd ever find out, well, we have found out, and now the American people need to be demanding. They need to be burning up the phone lines and emails, letting their members of Congress know this has got to be repealed. And I'm telling you what, I think, Democrats are saying, well, we'll salvage things in 2016 like we did in 2012. No, there's a big difference, Sean. People will know how bad Obamacare is in 2016. They were only beginning to get a little indication in 2012. Now they're finding out. And if Democrats aren't willing to cross over the line and vote for repeal or vote to override a veto, then I think it means they won't be long for being an active member of the Senate.
Listen, I think calling the switchboard and for repeal when the time comes, we'll give out the number. You can always call it, but 202-224-3121. Let me ask you about a suspicion that I have. I know you guys have. It was really stupid to put into place budget dealings that were going to land there when we knew that the Congress was going to be a lame duck one way or the other. But you guys, not you, but Congress designed it that way, which I think was stupid. They should have moved it into next year. But so you guys are going to have a choice whether to pass an omnibus spending bill or just a continuing resolution, which has pretty much been the status quo in Washington for many years. Omnibus being for the entire year, the 12 separate funding bills put into one big omnibus bill. Now, here's my suspicion. Why do I think that Republicans are going to pass the omnibus bill before the president moves forward with his executive orders on immigration in the hope that any defunding leverage they have is removed? Now, does that sound conspiratorial or does that sound possible?
No, as a former history major in college, that sounds like you have taken a look at what has happened over and over in the past, and you're projecting that means it's likely to happen in the future. The old thing, those who refuse to learn from history are destined to repeat it. Of course, there's another corollary. Those who do learn from history will find new ways to screw up. But you look at our history, that's the kind of silly things that have been done. Now, I've been told by our leadership, look, there's going to be some good policy stuff. If there's an omnibus, you can count on it. We're going to get some really good policy stuff in there for Republicans, for conservatives. But past history tells you and me both, Harry Reid's going to have that thing chocked like full of nuts. It's going to be a mess.
Well, Republicans don't have to go along with it. In other words,
no, we don't.
So if the House Republicans stand strong, can't you just insist on a continuing resolution?
Yep. Yes, absolutely we can. And actually, I think a continuing resolution into February, heck, the debt ceiling issue's coming back up in February. It seemed to work out where we have a lot of leverage if those two things come up at the same time, And then that gets not the people that have just been defeated making the decisions, but it gets the people that the American public said, we want these people making the decision. That's who will get to make the decision.
By the way, I didn't even look in your election. What did you win by? What was your percentage this time?
Well, I had the same opponent as last time, and last time I had 71%. OFA, the president's old campaign folks, they had some rallies in Tyler and Longview and different places, and they had a letter writing campaign calling me a moron and buffoon. And it had an effect because I won with 78% this time. Yeah, go figure.
I was expecting you to say like 53% with that lead up. That's pretty funny. Well, let me ask you, is there going to be any...
smart folks, and they know what's right and they know what's wrong.
I've been reading that Speaker Boehner's been making the calls around Congress looking for support. I don't think there's going to be a big appetite to remove him, although I think we'd be better off with another speaker personally. I know you nominated Newt Gingrich the last time because you can nominate somebody that's not in Congress.
I nominated Newt 2 years ago, but after the size win we had, it wasn't really a testament to what Republicans have done right as much as it was to what Democrats
I've got to say,
wrong.
I thought that Boehner, when he spoke the other day, gave one of the best speeches he'd ever given.
Yeah, and I appreciated his comments on Amnesty, that the president better not go there. And so, no, I have appreciated that. And
but you haven't had the best relationship with him. I mean, are you going to vote for him for speaker this time?
I doubt that will happen, but it doesn't mean that if he's speaker, we can't push for conservative ideals to be met. So
what is the beef with you? I mean, look, I know you personally. I've met you. You're one of the nicest guys I know. Why does Boehner have a beef with you? So what? You didn't want him to be speaker.
Well, I guess you probably can't stand up as many times as I have in our conference and explain where mistakes have been made and where they're about to be made again, and have somebody love you for calling out problems. I mean, Sean, back in July of 2011, I'm the guy that stood up and said, this super committee stuff is insane. They're never going to be allowed to reach an agreement, and then we're going to end up cutting our military to the bone. We need some dramatic cuts.
Well, let me ask you this.
Budget, but I could see even then, I called it, and the speaker said no, that those sequesters would not happen, that super committee would reach an agreement. I knew the Democrats would never.
You guys are just back in Washington today. So
right.
Is there a consensus on immigration? Is there a consensus on the budget not going with the long-term omnibus with this lame duck session? Is there a consensus on Obamacare? Are you getting any insight as to what the leadership's plans are?
Yeah, I think there are at least on 2 or 3 people want to repeal Obamacare. And then I think that if we, and of course the president said he's not going to sign that, but it's what we believe. Why wouldn't we pass what we believe? We will do that, I feel sure. And then follow up with things. I mean, if you remove the individual and the employer mandate, then who in their right mind would want to be part of Obamacare? I mean, there will be some, but a very small number when you can make so many of them. So I see us making inroads there. And on the issue of immigration, the American public, majority of Hispanics say secure the border before you do anything else on immigration. It makes no sense to do an immigration bill until you secure the border. And then we'll get a lot of these things worked out, but not until it's secured. And I mean, for heaven's sake, the things that are coming across our border in the way of disease. I've been down there. I've seen the people coming with different diseases. And I said, well, now where are all the people with scabies? And they said, see that little yellow crime scene tape? That's separating the scabies people from the other. I mean, you look at the different viruses that are coming in and appearing now. I mean, that's bad enough. And then the Border Patrolmen say several times more people from radical Islamist controlled countries are now coming in. I mean, it's insane. We have got to secure the border if we're going to provide for the common defense.
I agree, Harlan. All right, well, we're going to keep up to speed, and you can sort of be our eyes and ears on the ground in Congress. Louie Gohmert from the great state of Texas, 78% of the vote. It's got to be one of the highest margins in the country, but thank you for being with us. Hey, listen.
Love you like brothers. Thanks so much, Sean.
I appreciate it. You know, my wife has been using Chamonix products now for over 15 years. Now, Chamonix is the best all-natural, most effective skincare anywhere. And the best part is they offer you your money back if you're not happy because they're that confident that you're going to feel and see the difference. For example, they have a brand new Genucell. It's stem cell therapy. If you have bags and puffiness under your eyes, well, this is the solution from it. It's from Chamonix. And with Genucel, they specifically target unsightly bags and puffiness, and it has an immediate effect. And Genucel guarantees you're going to see results in 12 hours or they get your money back. My wife tried it. She said she felt it almost right away, immediately, and she saw the difference. Now, here's the deal. You can be the judge. Order Genucel right now. Takes years off your appearance. Say goodbye to bags, puffiness under your eyes today. You're going to get compliments everywhere you go, or you get your money back. That's with all their Chamonix products. Call now. Genucel. You can try it risk-free at 800-SKIN-509. 800-SKIN-509. And if you call in the next 20 minutes, they're going to give you free the legendary Esotique face cream. And my wife's been using that for years. Just for trying Genucel, they'll give you that free. 800-SKIN-509. It'll change your entire take when it comes to, how you take care of your face, because you want the best all-natural, effective skincare anywhere, and it's from Chamonix. 800-SKIN-509. 800-SKIN-509. Call today. Quick break. Right back. We'll continue.
In a sea of government lies, he's the beacon of truth. This is the Sean Hannity Show.